Deductions under Income Tax Act 1961 has taken a toll on every student. Whenever they are trying to learn, they get mixed up with these sections and the limits and what was there in what section has always been very confusing. So let's make it simple, and we are going to learn all the deductions with the help of a very short story. Hi everyone, I'm Megha and welcome to UGC Net with Megha, and in this video we are going to cover deductions under Income Tax Act 1961 right from the section 80C to 80GG. So we are going to start with the story and we are going to understand each and every deduction with the help of that story only. So there was a village where there was one person called X who was very rich and he was also powerful. So people used to take a lot of advices from him, and with his advice other people also started earning money. So majority of the people in the village were his employees only, and since he was quite wealthy, he was paying them lavish salaries. So they were also becoming quite financially sound. So now he felt jealous of these people they are earning from me only, and they are becoming more powerful and rich, and there would be a day when they would become more powerful than me and rich than me. So he came out with a scheme of taxation. So he started to levy tax on their salaries. That is, he used to deduct some portion of their salaries in the name of taxation. That it is for the better working of the entire village that I'll be deducting some part of your salary as tax. So people said okay. Now, but then they were not very happy with the fact, because nobody is happy when they have to give their amount of earning unnecessarily. So they were not happy with the fact. So now some people of the village started to find other ways to earn money. So few people came with the idea of earning money by renting their houses. That is, they would give their house property on rent. So now he said, okay, they have become smarter than me. They are earning income in this manner. So now I'll levy tax on that income also, because I can't let anybody be richer than me. So now he started to levy tax on house property also. So again, unhappily, they agreed to pay tax. So then out of those people, they thought, let's think of some other way where he cannot tax us. So they started either business, or they used to practice their degrees. That is, they took the degrees of doctors, lawyers, chartered accountants, and they started to practice that, or somebody started their own business, a shop maybe, or anything like that. So now he said, okay, now they have found another way, so I'll have to find one more way to tax them. So he started taxing all the professions and all the businesses as well. And so now what people said, okay, these are the things on which tax is levied. So let's sell our capital assets. We'll earn money by selling our capital assets. So he came to know about this idea also. So he introduced a scheme to tax capital assets as well. People, infuriated with his decision, started gambling and participating in various quizzes, puzzle games, lotteries, etc. So this rich man felt, okay, now they have started to use variety of means to befool me. So whatever also incomes are left, all sorts of income which I have not taken into taxation in the earlier 4 stages, I'll tax here. So anything you earn will be taxed. So this infuriated people all the more. So what they did, they started to divert their income. That is, they gave their income to their family members who were not under this taxation ambit, or they were not under the ambit of this income tax concept which was introduced by this man X. Now he came to know about this idea also. So he said, okay, trying to be smart with me. Now wherever your income goes, doesn't matter if you have earned it and then split it, the total would be taken into your consideration only, and it would be charged to tax. So this created a lot of anger in people, and then they all together went to X and started revolting against him. Ki this is not fair. You are taking away all our income. You don't want us to be rich and wealthy and this and that. They started to protest. So now this X was very scared that he might lose his status and power. So in order to suppress this revolt, what he did was he gave out certain relaxations. Now relaxations were given in such a manner that benefit ultimately is his only and not of the people. So relaxations were designed, and these relaxations were called deductions. So now he started asking people that what are your major problems? Speak out, we'll discuss and we'll give you deductions regarding that. So people started with the major concerns, that is the foremost important concerns of their life, and those were named as deductions under section 80C. So 80C is for concerns, and this was for individuals and Hindu undivided family only, because they have to support a large number of people, or a family is dependent on them. So because company does not have to provide an earning to their family or something like that, so the company did not revolt against it, or company did not get any benefit. So this benefit was given only to individuals and Hindu undivided family. So what all types of concerns were covered? Like people said ki we have to pay a sum of life insurance premium for us, for our wives, and for our children also. So he said, okay, take the deduction for the payment that you have to make for your life insurance premiums. Then people said we also have to pay provident fund. We have to save for our future. No, there will be a point of time when we will not be able to work. So we have to save for our future. So he said, okay, take deduction for provident fund also. But the period should be, lock-in period should be 15 years. So they said, okay, fine, we'll agree with that. Then people said we have to do some extra savings also. We have our children, so we'll have to get them married sooner or later. So we need to save some funds. So they said we have save money in equity linked savings scheme also, and with a minimum lock-in period there is 3 years. So he said, okay, take the deduction of that, but then minimum locking should continue to be 3 only. Then they said now we have to send our children to school, so we have to pay their tuition fees also in school. So he said, okay, take the deduction of tuition fees that you pay in schools. But then he said only 2 children will be allowed. Otherwise there are people who have 4 or 5 children in the villages, so they would take undue advantage. So here he put a limit, only 2 children's tuition fee you take an exemption. Now then they said we have certain kinds of loans also, like housing loan we have taken. There were few people who have taken a loan from him only and to build his houses. So he said ki if you make any principal repayment, that is principal amount is repaid of the housing loan, then you can take the deduction of that as well. Fine. But then human greed wants more and more. So they said we have also put some money in fixed deposits or deposits in post office so that we can support our parents and this and that. So he said, okay, take this deduction as well. But lock-in period should be 5 years. Now there were few people who were concerned with the fact that they have daughters, so they would have to get them married and they would have to give a lot of money in that wedding. So they said ki we have deposited the money for our benefit of our girl child in Sukanya Samriddhi account. So he said, okay, girl childs are special, so I'll give you a deduction for that also. Then national saving certificates, somebody came up with, like senior citizens came up with that they have saved in national saving certificates, or they have purchased the bonds of NABARD, etc. So for senior citizens' sake, he gave this deduction as well. Now he realized that I have given so many deductions, so these people will take undue advantage of it. Now their income would be very less and they would pay very little tax. So what he did, he said, but listen to me, all these deductions would amount to rupees 1,50,000 only. That so he said either your actual expenses or rupees 1,50,000, whichever is lower would be allowed. That means a maximum deduction of 1,50,000 was allowed for all these major concerns. So now people were worried because these were only few concerns which they could settle under 80C. Now they said ki we also have LIC. So they said, okay, I'll give you deduction for LIC under triple C. That means deduction under section 80 triple C was for premium paid on annuity plans of LIC or any other insurer. So basically whatever premium you were paying for LIC or any other insurer, that was also allowed as a deduction because the concern was growing. But then what he thought, again the people would take undue advantage. So what he did, that there would be a combined deduction under 80C plus 80 triple C, that would be maximum 1,50,000. You cannot take advantage beyond that. So now people said he is playing smarter with us and is not letting us enjoy the deductions. So now these people were so infuriated that he has reduced their benefit. He has put the condition of 1,50,000. So they came up with the idea that we also deposit the amount in pension account. So let's go and ask him for the deduction under this pension also, because our expenses are increasing day by day. So they went to this X and told him that we have to pay pension also, and you have not covered pension, and plus you have put the limit of 1,50,000. This is not fair and this and that. So they started protesting again. So in order to keep them calm, he came up with a quick idea. He said, okay, take the deduction of your pension also, but it would be only towards the NPS pension account, that is the National Pension Scheme. Regarding that only, you will get the deduction. They said, okay, fine, but we should get a proper deduction. He said, fine, you take 10% of the salary, that would include your basic salary and also your dearness allowance. And for those who are not employed, you can take 20% of your gross total income as the deduction. But then he thought, okay, now this will benefit them again, and I will be at loss. So he came up again with a quick trick that the aggregate deduction under section 80C, 80CCC and 80CCD, that is for pension, that is 80CCD is for deduction of pension. So basically 80CCD 1 shall not exceed 1,50,000. Now they were again angry. What is this behavior that you are giving us a total benefit of 1,50,000 only for so many concerns? This is not fair, and this and that. They started protesting and shouting. So he said, okay, fine, don't shout, I have a solution for your problem. So now again, individuals, whether employed or not, were eligible for this 80CCD 1B. So 1B is for additional benefit. So that additional benefit that he is given over and above this 1,50,000 was of 50,000 rupees. That is whatever amount of your pension was not consumed under the limit specified under 80CCD 1, that is deduction of pension under 1, which was not satisfied, you can claim the benefit under CCD 1B, that is 50,000 over and above what has been deducted or allowed as the deduction to you. Now people were like, okay, fine, 2 lakhs, but what will happen in 2 lakhs of deduction? We want more deduction, there has to be a way. Then they said, what is our fault if our employer is also contributing in our pension account? We never asked him to contribute, but then he is contributing. So what we employed people, that is the salaried people, should do? He said, okay, that is unfair on your part. Why should you pay tax on what your employer is depositing in your account? So he said, this is only for the people who are employed somewhere. So I'll give you a deduction on the employer contribution towards your NPS scheme in your account. So basically whatever employer contribution is there, that will also be allowed as a deduction. And what will be the deduction? That would be 10% of the salary, which includes basic plus dearness allowance. This is over and above the limit of that 1,50,000 and also excluding the additional amount of 50,000. Now people were satisfied, okay, now he has thought of our concern, and they left. And few days later, there was some spread of disease in the village. So again they went, see, now we have disease expenses also. You are not allowed any deduction for disease and you have to do something for us. So he made a section under that is section 80D for disease, that is amount paid for medical insurance premium or medical expenditure or for preventive health checkup. So basically an insurance premium, that is to safeguard the lives, a medical insurance premium people took because there were a lot of expenses, or a preventive health checkup. So for that he allowed a deduction. Now what was the maximum deduction? So if it is only for the preventive health checkup, then maximum deduction would be 5,000. But if you have medical insurance premium as well as medical health checkup, then it would be 25,000 for your own self, your spouse and your children, and if plus 25,000 additional for your parents. So basically this was the deduction, and this was allowed for parents. And in case of senior citizens, that is somebody has parents above the age of 60 and more, then they would be allowed a deduction of rupees 30,000. But then later on people said ki the expenses are increasing and the inflation is there, so much inflation, we want more benefit, this cannot be done. So finally after 2018 he said, this X said that you can claim a deduction for 50,000 of your self, spouse and children's insurance and 50,000 for your parents. So the entire amount that could be availed as a deduction became rupees 1 lakh from the assessment year 1920 onwards. Now that was done, people were satisfied, okay, now we have got decent amount of relaxations. So a few days went by and 2-3 people in the village met with an accident, and thereafter they started suffering from a disability. So now there was this deep sorrow with them, so they went back and that we are suffering from this disability, we should get additional advantages because we are not as capable as the others. So he said, fine, I'll give you this advantage because I totally agree with your point that you are not same as the others. So you will get a double deduction, that is 80 double D, that is for expenditure on medical treatment including nursing, also training or rehabilitation of disabled dependent. So if that person is disabled and he is dependent on somebody else, then a deduction under section 80D would be allowed for his medical expenditure. A dependent can be spouse, children, parents, brother and sister, or any member in case of HUF. That is, if it is a Hindu undivided family, then any member of the Hindu undivided family would be considered as dependent. So for claiming this deduction, you need to provide a certificate of disability. This was said by this X that, but you have to prove that you are actually disabled. You should not fake your disability to take the advantage. So that for that reason, you should give me a certificate of disability. So people agreed with that. Now, this deduction is allowed when the payment is made for any dependent. That means if a person is dependent wholly or solely for the functioning on somebody else. So for that dependent person only, this deduction will be allowed. They said, okay, no problem, let it be for dependents. Now then people said, how much deduction but will you allow? So he said, that has to be thought upon. Then he said, if the disability is 40% or more, then deduction is of rupees 75,000. But if disability is of 80% or more, then deduction would be 1,25,000. So for 40 to 80%, 75,000, 80% and up to 100%, it would be 1,25,000. Now there were other people who got some other specified diseases, and those were severe diseases, and they had to incur a lot of expenditure on the treatment of these diseases, etc. So now they again went back to him that we have also facing this deep depression regarding this payment and all that. So we need some deep depression benefit. So under section 80 double DB, that is deep depression benefit, what benefit was given? Ki, okay, you can claim the expenses incurred on the specified diseases. So these diseases, there is a list which is specified, and generally in exam you are given a question with the bracket option wherein it is stated clearly that this is a specified disease or X is suffering from a specified disease. So for that a deduction was allowed. But then he said, if you have an insurance, because everybody was claiming the deductions of insurance, and you get any benefit from insurance, that will be deducted. Only the actual expense that you are going to incur would be allowed as the deduction. Now, and that too, there will be a maximum limit, 40,000 in general, but if there is a senior citizen, that is who is of the age 60 or more, they will get 60,000 because the expenses are little more depending upon their health status. Now, but there were few people who were very old, so they also went, we also want the additional benefits. So he said, okay, people who are above 80 years or more will get a deduction of 80,000. Now again, this entire thing was increased later on, seeing that inflation is too much there. So for the senior citizen, that is who were 60 years or more, the deduction would be allowed up to 1 lakh. That is the category of very senior citizen 80 years or more was eliminated from the assessment year 1920. That is, they will not be allowed any sort of deduction. So this simply meant that now they will be on equal parallels with the people who were 60 years or more. So 80 years or more was clubbed in this category only. That was maximum deduction for all the people who are 60 years and above would be 1 lakh rupees. So now all the tensions, grievances ended up, the diseases were covered. Now people came up with the problem that now all of our children are growing up and we'll have to send them for a higher education, and we don't have so much money because we have to pay taxes also. So we have to borrow money, and then we have to pay interest also, and how will we pay so much of expenses? They again went to this Mr. X and told him their grievances, their problems. They started shouting, and again, so he said, now again, to retain my power, I have to give some relaxation to them. So he said, under section 80E, you can claim the deduction for higher education. So education 80E. That way, you can claim interest on loan for higher education paid during this relevant previous year would be allowed as a deduction. And since because it is for the benefit of your children, so that more and more children would be educated and they would go for higher education. So to favor that, I'll allow you 100% interest amount as the deduction. But it would be allowed only for a maximum 8 years starting from the year of payment. So the very first year would be in which you are starting to pay the interest, until 8 years only I'll allow you this deduction, not beyond that. So people agreed, and this problem also got resolved. Now again people came up with a double problem, that is like we have only two concerns in our life. One is our child's education, another is our house. So now you have solved our child's education problem. Now please solve our housing problem also. Lot of us are living on a rented house, or we don't have a house of our own, and or we want to build a house properly and nicely. We have a small house, we want to build a big house, and we have to then take a loan because we don't have so much of money. Again, you charge so much of taxes and give very little benefit, so you have to give a benefit. Here also they again started shouting and everything. So they said no, not for everybody, that you have a smaller house, now you will make a bigger one, then you have bigger, then again you want to make bigger one, so you will become greedy this way. I'll not allow this way. Only the people who are purchasing their first home or constructing their very first home ever will be allowed this deduction, and deduction will be of interest on housing loan which has been taken for the first home purchase. That deduction I'll give you, and deduction limit will also be there, that is 50,000, so that you don't spend unnecessarily on these things. And you should keep in mind that the house property that you are purchasing should not be very expensive. It should be only up to 50 lakh rupees, and the loan that you have taken should not be more than 35 lakhs. If you have so much of money, then only you can take the loan and you should invest it in the house. So people said, okay, fine, at least those who don't have a house will be able to purchase house. Let's settle with this. They've acquired, then later on they started feeling that those who were happy or those who were satisfied with their life felt that we should show some gratitude. So they showed gratitude by donating towards certain funds in charitable institutions. They started donating. Now they said that we are showing gratitude, so we should also get some benefit out of this gratitude, no, because our income is reducing day by day. So they again went to Mr. X and told him that, see, we are doing such a good deed, you are also a good man, and do us some benefits. So he said, for your gratitude, I'll give you a deduction under section 80G. So 80G is for gratitude, that means for your donations. So 100% would be deducted in case the type of donation is not in cash and it is proper, then donation amount of 100% would be deducted if it is a certified institution or a certified fund. But if it is not, then anonymous donations of 50% would also be allowed as a deduction. But one thing you need to keep in mind, I'll give you this deduction, but you will not make any donation above rupees 2000 in cash, otherwise I'll take away your deduction. So people agreed and said, okay, no problem, we'll not pay in cash, we'll pay by any other means. And now they felt happy for their gratitude. But now, after all these benefits and all the interest facilitation that he has given for constructing the houses, there were few people who were still not able to get their own house, and this was the great grievance for these people, because they were not able to get their own house. They still have to pay a lot of rent. So now they were so worried that our income will again reduce because we have to pay the rent as well. They went to the people who were paying this rent. They went again to Mr. X and told him this problem. Then you have to solve. This is our great grievance, he said. So for your great grievance, I will make one more section, and that section would be called as 80GG. Under that, you will get the deduction for the rent you have paid. But only the least of the three limits that I am mentioning, so whichever would be the lowest will be allowed as the deduction. So people said, okay, fine, at least some benefit to us. So he said, listen to the limits very carefully. Either rupees 5,000 per month, or 25% of your total income, or the rent that you have actually paid, out of that reduce 10% of your total income. So whatever is the difference amount would be taken into consideration. So out of these three limits, whichever is lower, I'll allow you that as the deduction. So now people were satisfied. Okay, fine, now all major problems have been solved. So these were the deductions that we were supposed to discuss under section 80C to 80GG, and there are few other deductions that we will be looking into the next part of this story. That is all for this video. Thank you for watching this video, and if you want me to cover any particular topic, you can leave your comments in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. For more details on our online course, visit our website www.ugcnetwithmegha.com, and the link for the website is given in the description below. And for regular updates, follow us on our social media handles.